Okay, should be live, but I still have things I need to do here. For one, let's get some music going. What's up, Benzalot? How's it going? Okay, music on. There we go. I'll plug my mouse back in. How I'm doing the mouse situation is I have my wireless Logitech G502 and I plug it in to work on my main PC and then unplug it to work on my stream PC. Because if it's plugged in, it goes to that PC, otherwise it goes to the wireless connector. So that's how that works. I need to share this across Discord and stuff. All right, and then I'll explain what we're doing this morning. Oh fuck, I forgot to tag everyone. Because I have that right as the owner of the Discord. Got everyone going live, working on art. 3D MTG cards. There we go. So then I can general live this morning working on 3D MTG cards for my next video. If anyone wants to hang out live for a bit. This morning working on 3D MTG cards for my next video if anyone wants to hang out. Okay, posted there. Now Twitter. Art stream. Making some 3D MTG cards. If you want to hang out. I don't have like a good. I'll just use my YouTube thumbnail. If you post media on a tweet with a link, it's more likely to get views, apparently. Then we have Instagram. I have like 3 million places to post that I'm going live. Not that it even matters, I don't think. That's okay. We're only live for a couple hours anyway, because I'm going out this afternoon with my girlfriend. Oh man, too many. Live making 3D MTG cards if anyone wants to hang out. Okay, then post the link, which I have to grab, which is difficult on mobile. Go back to my live stream tab, and I'm going to pop out the chat so I can read that. And change it to live chats rather than top chats. Okay, grab link. Share, copy link. Paste link. And share to stories. Okay, we're good to go. So what we're doing this morning, let me open Blender real quick so I can demonstrate. I'm working on a new Oh, I should also open OBS so I can record this without my camera in case I want to make a time lapse for my other channel. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, cool. And where is this saving? This is saving to where drive is that? Editing drive. I don't know if that's good or not. How much space do I have there? 83 gigs. That's probably fine. Hey, One Nash, how's it going? I've been going live on Wednesdays and Saturdays lately. It's fairly recent though. This morning we're just doing a chill art stream. I'll explain what I'm doing here in just a second after I get stuff set up on my other monitor. So, I've had no power for the last 20 hours. That's not fun. Yeah, so the goal here, let me show you what we're doing. I'm working on a new video for my Magic the Gathering YouTube channel, and I want to go a little bit fancy with the graphics. So, oh, wrong thing. Here we go. I want to go a little bit fancy with the graphics. So, what I'm doing is taking a Magic the Gathering card, and we're gonna do a 3D projection. This one's not the best example in the world, but notice how like there's actual depth with the tentacle there, and how the scene has depth to it when I rotate the card, so it's like a little window. That's what we're doing today, but for a different card, not this one. There's also, it's hard to tell again, but there's also like depth with the tentacles and stuff, because this is not the best one to demonstrate with, but I'll show you what cards we're doing, and we're going to use Photoshop Beta because it's very useful for stuff like this. I saved the art. If you go to scryfall.com, you can save just the art of Magic cards rather than the whole card. So let me go to the deck list video here, grab the card image. So we're gonna start with, I think, the Cloakwood Hermit. If it loads. Did that not drag in? Oh, it did. It's just crashing on me a little bit. So this is from art from the Cloakwood Hermit, and I'm gonna go ahead and start recording on OBS on the other machine without my face in it. Big storm came through. You were at work, the power went out, and water was flooding in? That sounds bad. That sounds less than ideal. I'm gonna start recording over here. So the goal here, first step, is we need to extend this image. So when we rotate the card, there's a little bit of extra art. And a really good way to do that is with Photoshop's new generative AI tools, which I know everybody's all pissed off over AI and whatnot, but I think this is a good use case for it. Hey, what's up, Justin? So I'm going to image canvas size, and we'll just do a percent. Let's make it just like 150% what it is on the right. MTG should hire me for promotional content. I wish they would, that would be sick. So then ideally what we can do is just select this box and do, also, let me unlock this layer so we get a transparent background. Image, canvas size, we'll do 150%. So now we don't have any art over here, but if I select this and hit generative fill, I don't need a prompt for that. It's gonna try its best to use AI to fill in the blank spot, which is just, it doesn't have to be good. We just need extra artwork on the sides here, so when the card rotates with perspective, there's something there. And you'll notice this did a pretty decent job. That's not bad at all. So now we need to do the same on the other sides. I think what we're gonna do here is image, canvas size, and we'll just do 200% from the center, and then we'll do the top and bottom after. So that way I don't have to do math to figure out what the right size is. So we'll generate the side here. Yeah, it's wild. It's really, really good. Okay, so it's kind of shit actually. They're using old AI generation methods that are terrible at doing humans. But also this one, notice it doesn't look as good, but it gives you a few different options when you do it. I think this one looks the best. So we'll use that for our art extension. And we'll select this side and generate out here. And then the hard part, which is now easy because of this generative fill feature, is going to be separating out the individual elements that we can then project onto 3D geometry to make sort of a 3D picture. Justin wasn't here when I was showing it. This is not the best example in the world. What we're trying to do is just add some perspective to the cards so it looks like a 3D scene, like you're looking in a window. Not for every card in the video, just for my commanders, but I think it looks really cool when you can rotate the card around and it feels 3D. And I think that's a good way to introduce the commander. That's pretty good. Let's see what our other options are here. Oh, thanks, dude. This one will honestly look a lot cooler because there's a lot more depth to the scene. The problem with the Watcher in the water is that like it's all at one depth pretty much, other than this tentacle. So I just like gave the ocean some depth. So if you look down, yeah, so that's what we're doing this morning. Then let's go ahead. I think this, again, it's not super important what this looks like. I believe I'm gonna try one more time. If we hit generate again, it'll do it again. It'll still save the first 3 options, but it'll add 3 more options for us, which is really cool. The way they've implemented it into Photoshop is pretty cool. Also, I don't know why is the chat even showing up on that box up there? I'm gonna type something as a testing. I'm gonna have to refresh it. Okay, chat is not showing up. I'm gonna refresh the source. There we go. Now we have chat. You don't get the freak out over AI. It feels like the same hysteria when automation came to factory work. There'll still be plenty of jobs. Yeah, more or less. I don't think it's gonna take jobs. I think it's gonna change jobs. And ideally, by the time it does, oh, this looks a lot better, honestly. So I'm trying to choose the simplest one for the extension because it'll make our job easier later for stuff. So anyway, let's go ahead and image canvas size. Let's do 200% vertically now. And this is where it might fall apart, but we'll find out. I'm gonna select here and hit generate, and we'll see what happens. Why does the chat keep disappearing? That is bizarre. I'm gonna try something. Oh man, I have like a million tabs up. There's Lord of the Rings stuff. Where did I put my stream elements? It's probably over here. Okay, game chats. I'm definitely going to turn the background of this off because otherwise now, like if it's not working, it's not working, and it just looks like a black box on my screen. The top, that's pretty decent. Oh, I like that one a lot. I like, I don't know, let's see what other options we can get. Getting a good base to work with is important here. And again, keep in mind, the only art that's going to be visible most of the time is the original art from the card. This is just to create some extra detail if we rotate the card. So it doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't even have to be good. I think this is probably our best option, honestly. This one's pretty good too. I think I'm gonna go with this one just because it'll be simpler with the trunk being a whole object and not having leaves in front of it when we separate out the elements. So we'll try that. It looks like they still have the resolution issues for when you generate. So like there's an obvious seam here, but from a distance on a Magic the Gathering card in a video that's compressed by YouTube, I don't think it's gonna matter. So now last step is gonna be to generate the bottom here. Go ahead and do that. The top and bottom are also less important than the sides because the card is mostly going to be rotating horizontally. Go ahead and generate this. And we're just trying to create an extended piece of art that we can use in a card. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the YouTube chat thing here. That's pretty weird. That looks pretty damn good. So does that. I think option 1 probably looks the best. Although, I don't know. Okay, so if we crop this, it looks like he's sitting on like a tree log. And we kind of lose the tree log look with the extension. Let's try getting just a few more options to see what happens. Option 3 kind of nice. I'll take a look after this finishes generating. Interesting. So your chat is showing up over on Stream Elements, but not on Stream. Oh, there it is. That's weird. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look bad. 4 is pretty good. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is a new option 3. I think 1 right here looks pretty good, and it'll be easy to project. Because demonstration of how I'm doing this is you'll notice. So I have a thing that hides anything behind the card, geometry. So this is like a 3D scene, and I've created very basic geometry to project the image onto, just so the image looks 3D from the right camera angle. So from the right camera angle, you get like some pretty cool depth on the art. It has its limits, as it should, I guess. But that's pretty much what we're doing. We're gonna project the image from the camera view onto 3D geometry to make it seem like the art has a little bit of depth to it. Definitely has its limits. It's not perfect, but it works pretty well as an illusion. So I'm gonna hop back into Photoshop here. I am, I think, pretty happy with this one. This looks pretty good to me. Although, if we can get the trunk going all the way down, that looks pretty good too. We might do a blend of a couple of these. This one looks pretty good. This one looks pretty cool. I think this one looks pretty good. I think this is the number 3 that you were originally talking about as well. And it'll definitely look good enough for what we're doing. So now we're going to take all of these, merge them into one piece of art. I'm gonna put this as the original. I like to keep things organized in the layers when I'm demonstrating, and no other time. Why did that even come up? Go away. I don't want news. Now our goal is to separate this out into pieces that we can project. So I think the pieces we want are going to be the trunk with the squirrel. Then we're gonna want this, we'll put it in like 3 layers, I guess. We'll have the Cloakwood Hermit on a layer, we'll have the trunk on a layer, and then we'll have the background in a layer. Maybe one more layer for these additional leaves as well. So what we're gonna do here is just separate it out. So we'll layer this one trunk, and we'll go ahead and give it a layer mask. And sometimes they've added really good tools for this stuff now. So we do select and mask. We can usually, oh, I have to hide this stuff. So edit or select and mask. So now if I, okay, I'm gonna delete the layer mask. Ignore that I did that. Everyone makes mistakes, you know? So now if I draw on it, it'll try to select the individual subject matter, and then you can get closer and adjust it. And this will just give us a good rough mask to work with from the get-go. For some reason, Photoshop is being loud. Okay, so let's deselect all this garbage. It's gotten pretty good at its smart selections. I think something around there is pretty good. And try to get close up here, but that's going to be a little bit hard since it's all mostly black, so we'll have to paint that one a little bit manually. Jeez. All right, we might have to paint this back in. Morning. Don't drink too much today. I'm going to drink way too much. Oh yeah, for anybody who's unaware, later today I'm going to the Atlanta Summer Beer Festival with my girlfriend. And we're gonna get tanked, and it's gonna be fun. Yeah, this looks like a pretty good separation. We can clean it up after getting the initial mask. I'm gonna hit OK. Go ahead and just to have an idea of what we're painting out here. And I'm gonna go ahead and work on the mask a little bit more refined. Maybe turn the hardness on our brush up a little bit. And we'll just make a nice looking tree trunk. Cool. Get wasted, but hopefully not be lying in front of a stranger's home. So a couple people are meeting at my house, girlfriend, one of her friends, and then we're meeting another friend down there. But we're gonna Uber down. So ideally, we'll make it back in one piece. And then since the tree is going to be removed from the background projection, getting perfectly accurate on these edges, not super important. And again, this is also from a distance, so it will be fine. So we've kind of painted this tree trunk and squirrel out. I think the ears, this could use a little bit of refining. I feel like the squirrel's a pretty important piece of the art. Since the ability of the card makes squirrels, I think I'm gonna overpaint here and then paint out the background just to make sure we get accurate here. And we may try to model a little squirrel just so the projection looks really good, but I'm not super worried about it. You're changing brakes, almost done and didn't even hurt yourself. Okay, cool. I'm gonna set the chat to never disappear. Show messages permanently, save, and then maybe if we refresh the chat over here, it will actually show chat now. There we go, kind of. And then I'll go ahead and add a background to the chat so it's readable again. And hopefully it doesn't disappear this time. So like 0.5, select, save, and then refresh. That is still not very readable, but it's better. And hopefully it doesn't disappear the second someone types something. Okay. I'm gonna just make this a little bit harder of a line. Again, not super important. Having these rough edges might honestly help sell the believability of it too, of it being like tree bark. And that will be our tree layer. So now we need to do the middle layer, which is the Cloakwood Hermit. I'm gonna set this to full transparency. And this is where we're gonna get tricky and use the generative fill again. And this might be difficult. Chilling with stream while making your daughter falling asleep. What a night. Okay, weird. Now the chat's disappearing again. This Stream Elements chat does not work very well right now. I wonder if something's going on their servers. Okay, so we need to get rid of the trunk for this layer before we start painting out the backdrop. For that, I'm just gonna use a polygon lasso. It doesn't have to be super accurate. We just want to get close. So we'll just roughly cut along the tree. I think it's slow loading. Oh, weird. Okay, so I have stream elements up on my other monitor, and I have the chat up on the stream. On the other monitor, it only shows the chilling with stream while making my daughter falling asleep message, and it deleted everything else. But I think you're right. Now I think it's working since I turned disappearing messages off. So we'll just select all this stuff, select the whole tree, and then hit generative fill. Which traditionally, if I wanted to do one of these card art projections, I would have to manually like clone stamp and paint this stuff out, which I can do. It's just a lot more time consuming. This makes my job like 10 times easier. Damn, that did a cool job. Oh my god. Nice. Okay. I kind of like that one. Because that gives us more, ooh, or this one. This one looks pretty nice too. Let's do, let's generate some more options just to see what happens. Settings. Messages are delayed by 0 seconds. Yeah, it's just slow. That's pretty cool. It looks like a twin head hydra kind of tree. And then another cool thing you can do is add a prompt. So I can say forest with lots of trees and hit generate and see what happens. Or you can add wacky stuff there too, like if we want to put a Waffle House in the background. We'll try that after, just for the laughs. That looks really bad. Okay, my prompt did not work very well. Drink one for you. You're out. Stop shopping at Michael's. I'm excited for the beer fest. It's gonna be pretty fun. Need my own commander card. What would my card do? I want suggestions in the chat. What would the Chris Folia commander card do? Okay, let's see. Waffle House. Generate. We're gonna add a Waffle House where the tree was. Although it's a pretty narrow selection, so I don't know how it's gonna fit it. That's a ladder. That did not work. That did not work even a little bit. Okay, so we'll just pick one of these options. I kind of like this with the tree there. Or this one works pretty well as well. I think this is probably our best option here. So we'll go with that. And now we're going to duplicate this, merge it. We'll put this as tree AI out. I'd be like a partner commander with proliferate, and my partners would be Asmo and Bitey Boy. I'd get 2 partners? That would be broken as shit to have 3 commanders, unless both of the cats were on one card. That would be funny. Okay. They added, now you have to control click to deselect layers. AI in Photoshop is good. It's just frustrating that people go to some AI generating image web, put some more in here and there, and AI generating image without any sweat. I think it's fine. Again, it's gonna change jobs, not take them. The AI art is a good starting point for like inspiration or something to paint over. Or it's useful for like YouTube thumbnails and stuff. I don't think it's gonna remove jobs, because again, if you want something specific, you're gonna have to spend hours getting the prompt exactly right, or you're gonna want to hire an artist to actually do the work for you. So here This is where things get complicated figuring out the layers, because it looks like some of these leaves are further in the background than in the foreground. I definitely feel like, I think this tree is also further in the foreground than our subject matter, so we may separate this out as well. So if we have the trunk, then the tree. Granted, if we look at the original, let's drag the original artwork up. We'll duplicate it and put it at the top so we can solo it if we want to. If we look at the original, none of this stuff is even in the original art, so I don't think separating this out into its own layer is going to be beneficial for us, because most people are never even going to see that part of the art. So we'll just we want to add the most detail to the stuff that's going to be visible. Coming from someone invested in the area a long time. Yeah. Everybody's super worried about AI taking their jobs, especially artists. It's really funny. My brother sent me a meme a while ago that was like, AI comes out and then artists are like, oh my God, it's gonna take our jobs. What am I gonna do? And then programmers are like, oh my God, it's gonna take my jobs. This is awesome. Also, that was grammatically terrible. Or they could be an equipment. The cats could be an equipment. I can just like strap them to my arms with duct tape, and one bites and one scratches. Or one bites and then Asmo would just like give people resting bitch face. That would be pretty funny. Yeah, so you'll notice there is like a resolution difference here where the art goes as well. So we may want to clone stamp to smooth out the tail a little bit on the trunk. Oh wait, no, we're fine with the generative fill. It did a good job blending that for us. This is just when we put the art in front of it. Yeah, we're fine. So if we solo this, the most important areas are going to be within here for getting good detail. So I think we really do only need the 3 or 4 layers. And then we also still have to do the other commander since this is a partner commander. So how this works, I'll show you. It's a really fun deck for anybody invested in Magic the Gathering. So this is the card that we're doing the 3D card for right now. So commander creatures I control have, this is an enchantment, it's a background. There was an interesting mechanic introduced called backgrounds a while ago. So commander creatures you own have, at the beginning of your end step, if a creature card was put into your graveyard from anywhere this turn, create 2 tapped green squirrel creature tokens. So in the commander I chose is Sivirus Nightmare Speaker, which says I can tap him to sacrifice another creature or artifact. For each opponent, I mill a card, then return that card from my graveyard to my hand unless that player pays 3 life. So I can sack a creature with my commander, potentially draw 3 cards if they don't want to lose 3 life, or put stuff into the graveyard to use later, because this is a graveyard-centric deck. We're in the exact right colors to just get our stuff back anyway. And then, because we sacked a creature, we get 2 squirrels that are end step, which we can then use as sack targets, which is really fun. It's a very fun deck to play. It's very janky, but it's super fun. And there's a new card that just came out in the Lord of the Rings set that's bonkers in this deck called Mirkwood Bats that says whenever I create or sacrifice a token, both of which we're doing frequently, each opponent loses a life. How nuts is that? So we make the 2 squirrels at the end step. Every time we sack a creature with our commander, everybody loses a life. Every time we make something with Bitter Blossom, with Ophiomancer, with anything, our opponents are going to be losing life. This card is broken as shit. But back to the artwork. You're in healthcare, so AI can't take over your job yet. Robots, perhaps. Maybe, I think AI, again, won't replace jobs because people won't trust it. But I think it will make... it'll make diagnosing things from x-rays and such more accurate. I think it'll be helpful to doctors who maybe something's really small on the x-ray. Maybe the first look missed it. The AI might be able to say, hey, maybe you should look at this area again, and it'll help diagnose things faster and more accurately. So here we need to paint out the middle layer. Again, all this stuff was generated by AI, so it's not super important. But let's go ahead and start painting. I'm not sure how valuable selecting... I think all these blurry leaves in the backdrop probably need to be on their own layer. I'm not sure. This one's a challenge. Make a goth deck. So I was thinking about doing a mono black deck with Golem Scheming Guide, which says whenever it attacks, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put them back in any order, then choose land or non-land. An opponent guesses whether the top card of your library is the chosen kind. Reveal that card. If they guessed right, you remove them from combat. Otherwise, I draw a card and he can't be blocked this turn. So it would make a really fun, like, equipment-centric deck where you can make him strong, and then they have to guess the riddle right to survive, essentially. I think that would be a fun theme for a deck. But the one that I did build, and it's very gross, the one I did build for this set is the Watcher in the Water, which is enters the battlefield tapped with 9 stun counters on it. If a permanent with a stun counter would become untapped, remove a counter instead. So the goal of the deck is not to attack with this 5 cost 9/9. The goal is the next part, which is whenever you draw a card during an opponent's turn, create a 1/1 blue tentacle creature token. Whenever a tentacle you control dies, untap up to 1 target Kraken and put a stun counter on up to 1 target non-land permanent. So it's like a turbo draw blue aristocrats deck. So you got stuff like Invasion of Segovia, which is crazy. It's a battle. Whenever it enters the battlefield, create 2 Krakens. Then if you defeat the battle, it flips into a creature that says, non-creature spells you cast have convoke. So we have a bunch of draw spells in the deck. We can then convoke those using the tentacles that we made to draw a whole bunch of cards, which will make a whole bunch more tentacles that we can then use to convoke in other cards. It's really gross. It's really gross, and it works really well. So far, this deck is undefeated after my first round of tweaks. Hentai deck. I was thinking the same thing. But I named the deck What's Kraken? And we also have what is it? What is the card? Oh, Kindred. Kindred something. Kindred Discovery. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Token has the same creature type as the name of the token, so I choose Tentacle. Whenever a creature you control of the chosen type enters the battlefield or attacks, draw a card. So this goes infinite with the commander. So you draw a card on your opponent's turn somehow. A million ways to do that in the deck. Create a tentacle for drawing the card. The tentacle entered the battlefield, draw a card, create a tentacle, draw a card, create a tentacle, draw a card, create a tentacle. So then that goes really well with, this is how I usually win with the deck, is Psychosis Crawler, which says whenever you draw a card, each opponent loses a life. And his power and toughness equal to the number of cards in your hand. So Kindred Discovery, Psychosis Crawler, a way to draw a card plus commander on the field equals a win. I did that last night. That was pretty fun. Howdy! What's up, Lucy? How's it going? We're working on art this morning, but I got carried away explaining decks. So let's start separating out the mid ground here. I am dirty as fuck. But so is everyone else at the store, so it's not like I'm alone. I'm gonna add a layer mask, and we'll just start painting stuff out. It doesn't have to be super accurate, it just has to look decent. So we'll use our brush tool, make it a little bit bigger, and do black, and just start painting out. This is gonna be super rough. I'm honestly gonna turn the hardness down a little bit because it doesn't matter a whole lot. And we'll just start painting out. If I paint like this sporadically, it'll create kind of like nice rough edges that'll look more like, it'll more suggest leaves. And if we don't like the way this looks, we can always come back and modify it later. None of this is set in stone. What am I making? I'm working on a 3D version of a magic card for the video I'm working on, which I'll show you what I'm doing. So the idea is to make it so the magic card looks like it has depth to it. So it's like you're looking in a window. So if we like animate slowly, it just gives it some nice depth. It's a whole lot of work, but it's kind of fun and it looks kind of cool. So that's what I'm doing right now, but for a different card for the commander video that I'm working on. So I will... Okay, so all of this is behind the tree trunk anyway, so most of this area doesn't matter a whole lot. We just need to get close. So right now I'm separating the card art out into 3 distinct layers that I can then project onto 3D geometry to make it appear as though it's 3D. Which, Justin, you still gotta come to the game store with me sometime and play Magic. I'm gonna teach the girlfriend how to play at some point. She said she's interested. And I have a whole box of Jumpstart, which is really good for teaching. Okay. So again, we're just trying to get close to the leaves. It doesn't really matter. Especially since this is 1920 by 1080 video, so the art's gonna be pretty small on screen. And then it's gonna get further compressed by YouTube. So I'm not super worried about everything being 100% accurate. You're scared to get back in because you know all your vinyl money will go to Magic. Just don't spend any money on Magic. You can always borrow my decks. I have like 20 something decks now, and I am happy to let you borrow one. Where were we? So the accuracy of this is not super important. Plus, I'm building like a new deck every set since I'm trying to make videos about them. This video is already edited in terms of the video side. I have to do the card animations now. And I have to add the Mirkwood bats since that was released after I recorded this. Which, I don't know why I'm trying to get so accurate here. This does not matter at all. Okay, this part we can just kind of make up. Just make it look like rocks. Relearn all the mechanics so you're not spending all your time reading and asking questions. Nah, nobody cares if you read. There's like 20,000 some odd game pieces. No one expects you to know what everything does. I ask what things do all the freaking time and I play the game weekly. So there's just so many cards you can't keep up with what everything does. And I also like ask people for rules clarifications on things that their cards do as well. All the time. Okay, continue painting this out. And everybody there is super friendly and does the same thing. Because you want as much information as you can get. Oh, than the deck you're playing. That's fair. Yeah, but you want as much information as you can get from other people's boards. So you can make good decisions. I don't think we're going to be able to finish this morning, but ideally we'll finish the separation of the elements on this one and start to project it in Blender, because I got to go around noon to get ready. I'm going to tidy up the kitchen a little bit and take a shower and get dressed. And I finally was able to get a battery for the watch that I want to wear today. which is nice. I bought this back in 2018 when I was on a cruise, just as a memento. It's a Bulova curve watch. So you notice that the actual like timepiece itself is curved. It's like a curved watch face. It's really cool. I've had it forever. The battery's been dead. Finally figured out what kind of battery to put in it and ordered one overnight last night. So now it's actually telling the time again. Oh, wrong thing. I keep forgetting I made a new art scene. The gameplay scene is set to show Zelda, which is not currently on. Okay, we can just kind of paint this out. If we accidentally paint some of the leaves out, it won't matter because we're gonna generative fill the background here as well. Okay. Which, if this was a main part of the art, I would separate this out into 2 more layers. But since this is only on the edges, again, it doesn't matter. And at some point, you gotta know when to call things done. Now, you will notice if we select this or go to quick... Why is quick mask not working? Is it... There we go. You notice there's like a lot of holes in what we were painting that are hard to see. So a good way to filter those out sometimes is to fill in the background with black so you can see what you missed. And even though we missed stuff, that stuff's not even going to be on geometry, so it's not going to matter a whole lot, but it is nice to keep it pretty clean. So that's painted out successfully, I feel. Good enough, at least for now. Maybe roughen it up a little bit more. But again, once it's in Blender on 3D geometry in front of the background, I don't think it's going to matter that much. I may be proven wrong, but we'll find out. So this part's a little bit trickier. I think we just get rid of the main background here. And then we can even like paint out this area and just have like the leaves at the top. Because again, this is all that's showing up in the card most of the time. So it's not worthwhile to spend a whole bunch of effort on all this stuff that's not gonna be seen. It's like, you'd be surprised like with movies and stuff, like how much shit, like how much shit is just like ignored or hidden because it's not seen. All that matters is what's seen. This edge we do want to be really accurate on. Which we could use Photoshop's automatic selection tools, but I'm gonna get the most accurate edge by doing it myself. And another really good way to cut stuff out is with the Bezier curve tool, especially for sharp edges like this. But since we also have some edges that are not sharp, I'd rather just paint it out personally. It's all personal preference. Up to the discretion of the artist. I don't know if I can call myself an artist in this instance since I'm just stealing someone else's art and making it 3D. Although I'm not claiming it's my art, so I guess I'm not stealing it. It is their art. And this is where it gets a little bit confusing. We may want to make a 4th layer of just these leaves back here without the hermit so he can have some depth in front of these leaves. I think that is exactly what we'll do. So I think this layer will be like this trunk, which is going to require a lot of detail. We'll figure it out as we go. The cool thing about digital art is if you fuck up, you can always undo things or redo things. Also, stream music is fire. This is Stream Beats by Harris Heller on Spotify. It is completely royalty-free, free-to-use music that he created for streamers. And because of how Spotify's royalty system works, every time someone, like, normally on Spotify, people don't make a ton of money because, you know this because you make music, probably. You probably know this. People don't make a ton of money because you get paid on how many times it gets played back or how long it gets played. And most music is played like every once in a while. But since Stream Beats is royalty-free music designed to be played in the background of streams, it gets so many replays that I believe back in 2021 or something, he was making like $20,000 a month or something crazy like that because of how much the songs get played. Because people are streaming for hours at a time, they need royalty-free music to play in the background, so it just gets looped over and over and over again. So I don't know if the terms have been adjusted or not, but he was making bank off of Stream Beats just by making a free thing for everyone to use, which is really cool. It's very smart. Now you're depressed? I'm sorry. It was just a really smart business plan, since most people are making music for people to listen to rather than stream with. But it was like a win-win-win because he gets paid, streamers have music to listen to in the background of their streams, and he's also sticking it to the record companies. So win-win-win. And if I go to Spotify, he also has like different genres. So I'm on the lo-fi playlist, but there's also like ambient, there's like EDM, there's synthwave, there's rock, there's all sorts of different tracks. They're all pretty great. I just like the lo-fi for streaming. It's super chill. I'll just go to his website if that's been updated yet, because it was down for a while. Stream Beats, because they were working on updating. I was planning you were gonna get to making chill music. Oh, this is not loading. I wonder if their website's down. I don't want to bring up Spotify on this machine because I have Spotify up on the Stream PC so I can control it with the Stream Deck. Damn, their website seems to be down currently. But if you go on, he also has it all up on YouTube as well. So like, let me mute that real quick. There's also like rock as well. This one I think is pretty good. Maybe I'm a little young, but you don't know what I've become. Can't you see it in my face? What's up, Pizza Chew? So then for all of the rock songs and stuff that has lyrics, he also releases the instrumentals that are free to use as background music in videos, streams, whatever. I use this one on one of my second a day videos. So it's just a really good service for streamers to release free music for them to use, which is awesome. So we're doing a chill art stream this morning, Pizza Chew. I gotta get stuff done for my Magic the Gathering YouTube channel. I'm probably gonna finish up in an hour here so I can go get ready for the Summer Beer Fest. Oh, let me turn the lo-fi back on. Oh, we're just painting this out, getting a nice clean edge around our Cloakwood Hermit here. Like so. And then I guess we'll include this part of the tree here with him. Let's just continue getting a clean edge around him first. The sky is up. That's fair. So is my ceiling. So are my cats. They're above me. They're on the other floor right now. That will work, I believe. So I think where the leaves start to lose definition, that's where we'll cut out and make a fourth layer. Oh, the other cool thing about doing the 3D art like this with the cards is it makes it easy to, like, you can like zoom in and out and have sort of a 3D as well. So it gives you a lot of freedom to move around and make cool 3D stuff. Have I seen all those JSlat AI songs? I have not. JSlat sounds familiar though. Okay. Gonna keep painting. That's looking pretty good. Okay, cool. Got a nice clean edge there. I'll go ahead and paint out this edge as well. We can get a little bit more accurate here just to have some grass detail, since I believe this part is going to be within frame. Yeah, it is. So that might be a little bit more important to get accurate. Let me get some of this detail in here and paint out more. And then just continue along the edge. So this will look nice with some perspective if we do have the detail. Cool. Why am I removing the background? So how this works is, so I have this 3D card that I made for an example, which, I mean, if you move around too much, it breaks. But notice how, like, it's like projected onto 3D geometry to give it sort of the illusion of depth. I need to separate the image into layers to be able to do that. So we'll have different layers to project on different pieces of 3D geometry. So it will look 3D when I rotate the card a little bit. So we're going to separate this one into 4 layers. So we're going to have the foreground, which is this tree with the squirrel on it. Then we're going to have the midground, which is the character with these foreground trees. And we'll have one more layer that's just the background leaves, and then one more layer that's just like the background of the forest. So then when we piece it all together in Blender, it'll look like a 3D scene rather than a 2D picture. And it'll look like you're looking into a window on the magic card rather than a 2D picture, which is cool. I'm not doing it for every card in the video. I'm only doing it for the commander, or like the leader of the deck, which there are 2 commanders for this deck. So I made my work doubly difficult. Okay. And once we get over here, we don't have to be as accurate because, again, the part that's going to be visible within the card frame is this much, and the rest is just here in case the card turns, so it appears as though the scene extends. And we just want a clean edge around the bottom here, and then the rest will be pretty easy to paint out, I think. We'll find out. We'll get that nice, clean, hard edge. I think we can probably cut this part out. And again, this part's not super important, so it won't be super accurate. But that looks pretty good to me for an edge. So now we can paint out the rest of this pretty easily. I think there's also like a hotkey to change the brush size easier, but I don't know what it is. I've always just used the brackets. I should probably go ahead and save this. This will be Cloakwood Hermit _ layers. And we want to keep these leaves, and actually no, because it doesn't even matter, because that's never, that corner is one of the least likely parts to be shown to the audience, so there's no reason to waste the time accurately extracting that. Not even close to finishing. Why save? In case it crashes. Photoshop crashes. I don't know if you were serious or not. I'm assuming you were joking, but it is good to save frequently. I'm gonna make the background of the chat a little bit darker. And then reload. There we go. A little bit more readable. Not sure why it's that far back in time, but that's okay. Okay. We do need to paint accurately around this tree. That'll look really cool with perspective. The more accurately we paint, the cooler it will look. Most people won't notice the difference, but I will. Used Photoshop about a year ago for a digital art class, and it never crashed while you were working on something. Just because it hasn't crashed yet doesn't mean it won't. It's definitely gotten more stable over the years, but it is still capable of crashing, and it's always good to save your work frequently. It's a good habit to get into. What if it crashes, or what if the power cuts out, or what if your cat chews on your power cord or something? Then you're fucked, and you just lost a few hours of work. Saving frequently is best practice. It's Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong. Don't think you'll ever pay $70 a month for Photoshop. You can get Photoshop plus Lightroom, I think, for like $20 a month. And there's also a cool life hack where, let's say you're paying for the whole Creative Cloud. You can click cancel on your account and they'll just automatically offer you half off for a year. So I'm paying way less than 70 for I'm paying like 35 a month for the entire Creative Cloud right now. Apparently you can just do that as many times as you want. I have to like pay full price for a couple months after the offer expires, but then you can just do it again. My friend taught me that trick. Because they would rather make $35 a month off of you than zero. And a lot of people are paying the full 70, but it doesn't cost them any extra because it's a digital download software at the end of the day. So any extra sales they can get benefits them. So they obviously know their things aren't worth the full price. They're very worth the full price to like a studio or something, but it's a lot harder for an individual or freelancer to swing. But if you are a freelancer, $70 a month is nothing. You make that plus a lot more for doing one job. So it pays for itself if this is the tool that you're using. Especially as an adult, $70 is a lot less impactful. This one's hard to see how it's defined when we're up close, which means I guess we just get to kind of make it up. I was happily paying $70 until my friend told me that trick, and then I was like, well, why would I pay 70 if I can pay 35? Because Premiere, After Effects, Photoshop, Illustrator, I use all that stuff regularly and make money off of it, so it's very worth it to me. It's like $2 a day. Yeah, but it's still worth it if you're making more than that using it. Because there's nothing like After Effects or Photoshop that's free, that's even close to as good. Like, GIMP is passable, but it's just not great. Just for artists, it's just cost of living. I'll just make this look like leaves, I guess. Doesn't even cost Adobe to sell you their service. It costs them like they have to maintain like user accounts and stuff and server storage and whatnot. So that all has to stay up and running, which is probably expensive. Not like $70 worth, but then they also have to pay for research and development of new tools like the AI generation stuff that I was showing off earlier that you weren't quite here for yet. So like the money goes into paying their developers and paying for research and development and hosting user accounts and stuff, which is all expensive. Plus they also have to pay customer service people if you ask for help with anything. I don't know. There's a lot of expenses they have with their employees. $70 a month is completely absurd. When you're making 6 figures as an artist using their tools, it's worth the $70 a month. $70 a month seems like a whole lot more when you're younger than when you're a professional in your field. $70 a month is not very much. Like, that's less than internet costs for 1 month for good internet. It's less than all the streaming services combined costs for 1 month. It's less than food costs for a week. It's not that much money. In perspective. So how much of this do I want to paint out for the 4th layer? This is looking pretty good. Like, you go out to eat once these days, or you order Uber Eats, it's gonna cost you more than 20 bucks for one meal. To put it into perspective. So 70 bucks not seeming like a lot when a burger with fries is like 20 bucks. It can make a cheaper version for non-professionals. It also depends what tools you need. Cause like, and they also probably have educational discounts as well. I don't know though. I haven't done any looking into that recently. They used to have educational versions of their software that were significantly cheaper before they moved to the cloud. Yeah, I don't buy Uber Eats either. Adobe.com is not loading either. Why are websites not loading right now? That's bizarre for me. Not great. Is my internet working? It's 11:11. Make a wish. Internet is up. I'm trying to go to their website, but it's not loading. Which the StreamBeats website wasn't loading either. That's pretty bizarre. Is anything loading? Yeah, that's loading fine. Why is it that all the sites that I want to go to today are down? Maybe if I try a different browser? Oh no. I think Adobe's just down. No? It's loading. Is it? I came up with the right favicon, but the website's not loading. Oh, here we go. Okay. Let's see. Student pricing. Say we're 60%. Yeah, so you can get all Adobe apps, period, for 20 bucks a month as a student. That's a pretty good price. And then also individual apps are cheaper. So if you like just want Photoshop, that's 20 bucks a month. Oh wait. Students get, oh that's, but just Photoshop on the cloud is much cheaper than the all apps plan. And I think it comes with Photoshop and Lightroom for like 20 bucks a month. But as a student, you get all the apps for 20 bucks anyway. So that's a pretty good deal. I think that's fair. Uber Eats is for mid-upperclassmen who are too lazy to drive to a fast food place. I don't even eat out that much. I eat out like, I have Sundays. Sundays are set as my eat out day for the week. And then other than that, I cook for the most part. I stick pretty hard to that because it is way cheaper to cook than it is to go buy fast food anything, and tastes better. Like last week I did, last week I actually got 2 free lunches. My parents took me out to lunch yesterday. Then I had a free lunch at work on Thursday. But for the first 3 days of the week, I did Greek chicken pita wraps, which turned out really well. I did like grilled chicken and then reverse marinated it in like a Greek dressing. Then I did onion and tomato chopped up with salt, pepper, and a little bit of lemon juice to make like a Greek flavor palette salsa to add to it. And then I added tzatziki sauce, and that turned out really well. This tasted really good, and that was 25 bucks for lunch for the week, which was way cheaper than going out to eat. That was 3 lunches for 25 bucks. There was enough for 5 lunches there, but I got the 2 free lunches from work, so I only ate 3 of the lunches that I made. A little bit wasteful, but yeah, you can get like 5 chicken breasts in sealed plastic bags for like 10 bucks at Publix. It's a good deal, and they're already trimmed, ready to just throw on the grill. Now, I learned recently that grill masters recommend reverse marinating instead of marinating, because marinating the meat doesn't do a whole lot other than affecting just the very outermost layer of the chicken. So what they recommend is after you grill it and cut it, so after it's cooked, after you've let it rest, after you cut it, marinate it in your marinade or dressing after it's cooked for like 15 minutes to soak it in, and it'll have a lot more flavor, because you also lose a lot of the marinade flavor on the grill as well. So that made the chicken taste even better when I reverse marinated it in Greek dressing. Nothing's better than a nice thick ham and potato soup. I don't think I've ever had that. I'm not much of a soup person though, unless I'm sick. Soup is not my go-to. I'm just gonna tidy up these edges a little bit. Let me see what, oh yeah, we can cut this out a little bit better. I'll do like a chicken noodle soup when I'm sick, especially like the Panera ones that they sell at the grocery store that are prepackaged. Those are really good. A tomato soup is really good with like grilled cheese or something, obviously. Nothing better than a good fat steak, which I'm really good at cooking steak. That's one of my strong points. I can get like a perfect medium rare ribeye or New York strip every time. And I learned from Heston Blumenthal on YouTube, which he's a Michelin star chef. He has a really cool method for cooking steak. I put it in a pan with oil.
For me.
And what you do, so you get it. He also dry ages his in the fridge, which I skipped that step. But what you do is you fill it, you like put like a layer of oil in the pan, get it till it's like smoking hot as your pan will go pretty much. I do this on my cast iron skillet. And then you flip the steak every 10 to 15 seconds, and that'll make the inside not have, so like normally when you just do like the flip once method that people will tell you, the medium rare, you'll see like a thick, like well cooked edge on the steak. This fixes that, so it's like perfectly medium rare, nice color throughout. And then you also get a really nice crust on it doing this way. Butter is so much better than the oil. So then what you can do after you cook it with the oil to get the nice Maillard reaction with the crust is then you can butter baste it with like garlic and thyme or something, and that tastes really good. If you cook at these high heats to get the crust with butter, the butter is gonna burn. So if you butter baste it afterwards, you still get the nice butter flavor, but also the really nice crust from the high heat. This video, if you ever look it up, The Perfect Steak by Heston Blumenthal, showed not behind my camera. This video is changed my life. I have made the best steak I've ever had by watching this video. Okay, how much of this tree do we want? Because I think we just, like, once the leaves start changing color, can I watch my own stream? I can. And then it'll probably create like an infinity effect. So if especially since I'm on 2 separate things. You like chewy steaks? I don't even know what that means. I like a nice medium rare steak with a nice good Maillard reaction crust. Why is stuff taking so long to load on this machine? Is it because of me recording what I'm doing? Oh, I hit play maybe? Refresh. Here's the stream. Oh, here we go. Here's the stream. Oh, here we go. So this will just go infinitely. Ooh. Oh, dude, I can make myself do the wave. Oh, kind of. It's not really in sync. I'm just gonna keep doing it and see what happens. And it'll probably look interesting eventually. Yeah, so that just goes infinitely. That's pretty cool. So, answer, yes, you can watch your own stream while you're streaming. You had a steak last night, went to a steakhouse for it, and it was good. Not as good as your dad's steaks, though. You like chewy steaks, not tough meat? Yeah, I mean, like if you cook it like perfect medium rare, with like a good cut of meat, it's not gonna be tough. And then if I move this around, it'll make the mirror like a little bit different. So now it'll like be infinity down to the corner. Your dad cooks a perfect steak. And then also perfect is down to personal preference as well. Like my dad likes to cook his steak a certain way, and I like to cook mine a certain way. I like my way better personally, but that doesn't mean his is bad by any means. He cooks a great steak. Yes. Oh. Anyway, answer to your question: yes, you can watch your own stream, and it creates fun results. Let's continue painting this out. I think we just sort of do like since this is all an extension vertically, I don't think it's gonna matter a whole lot at the end of the day. So I'm just gonna roughly cut this out. Try to roughly follow the edges of the leaves here, so we can create a new layer. Then we do want to follow the branches. I'm gonna save again, even though that seems to trigger you. Let's paint out this nice branch here. You've looked at Andrew Tate's ridiculous takes too much, and now Twitter's recommending his tweets to you constantly. I didn't realize he wasn't banned on Twitter. I would have thought, because like every other platform's banned him pretty much. Oh man, I posted my Andrew Tate impression as a YouTube short, and I lost like 7 subscribers or something. Elon Musk is a free speech lover. Fair. Unless you're making fun of him, then he doesn't like it. I'll just like do one of these and have this like as a twig that's sticking out. This is open to interpretation on how we should separate out the layers. Didn't Elon Musk also unban Trump? You guys have Twitter? Yeah. I actually post a lot on Twitter. Like I posted the stream this morning on Twitter. I retweet stuff. I post videos and stuff on Twitter. Elon Musk is a free speech lover and a homophobic, transphobic, misogynistic weirdo who smiles upside down. Oh, I posted how weird the Photoshop AI generations of people are. Not great. Photo bomber. Fruit tier list still hurts you. I recorded the whole thing, so I might make an actual long form video out of my fruit tier list. That'd be fun. Let's get back to this. Again, this is open to interpretation on what it should look like. Search up Elon Musk smiling. So 11:26, I've got like half an hour before I need to go get ready. He kinda does smile upside down, unless he's doing the pog face. This is the best example right here. I think that's called frowning. Why is Elon Musk smiling backwards? That's pretty funny. Okay, I think we need to paint out more of these leaves then if we're doing multiple layers here. Probably like roughly around these, which again, this area doesn't matter. I know I said this like a million times now. This area doesn't matter a whole lot because the audience will probably never see it, but it is important to like at least roughly follow it. What do I need to get ready for? Oh, I guess you weren't here. Around 1-ish, my girlfriend's coming over, and then we're gonna Uber down to the Atlanta Summer Beer Fest to get tanked. It's great. You pay like a $45 admission fee, and then you just get as much beer as you want from 4 to 8 p.m. from like hundreds of different breweries. Alcoholic festival, exactly. Which is why we're Ubering down, being responsible adults. Which, it's funny, because all beer pretty much tastes exactly the same to me with minor differences. It just tastes like beer. But, like, this was like the... Oh, I guess they did update the list for this year. Like, this is how many different ones you can try from different breweries today. Oh, there's 2 pages. Hell yeah. A lot of beer. And seltzers and sours and stuff. So, like, all beer tastes more or less exactly the same to me, but $45 to go get as much as you want in Atlanta is a pretty good deal. Oh, I'm planning on trying everything. Because you can just go back and ask for more if you like one of them. Just do it over and over again. It's a great deal. And then there's also like food trucks and stuff set up, which those cost money, but gonna need to eat something at the end of the day. Which Philly cheesesteak sounds pretty good. This looks like fried chicken of some sort. Chef Mocha D cooking. There's more pictures of her than there is of the food. Dogs on wheels. Pat's poutine. I didn't realize we had poutine in Georgia. I'll probably just get a Philly. A Philly cheesesteak is like the best thing to get after drinking. Eating is good to reduce the possible effects of hangover. Fun story. I have never had a hangover. I have thrown up after drinking too much. Where is it? I have thrown up after drinking too much. I have gotten extremely tanked before, but I just don't get hangovers. It is my X-Men superpower, which in hindsight, completely useless in terms of fighting crime, but really nice in terms of being able to go get drunk. Like, I just don't get hangovers. It's great. The closest I've ever gotten to having a hangover was just feeling like a little bit out of it after a night of drinking, and like feeling extra emotional. So like after a night of drinking once, I watched the finale of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I was just like crying because I was like, it's so emotional. And that's the closest I've ever gotten to a hangover. I've never had like negative effects like headaches or anything. So it's a pretty good X-Men superpower to have. I'm really jealous of my friend in high school's X-Men superpower though. His was he doesn't get brain freezes. How useful is that? I get a brain freeze by eating like 2 spoons of ice cream too fast. But yeah, I don't get headaches or anything, which is great. I've also heard different alcohols can affect hangovers differently. I'm wondering if it's because my body maybe developed differently since I didn't try alcohol till I was 20. Like, maybe that affects the brain in different ways if you try it later in life. Or maybe my liver just hasn't leveled up enough to get hangovers yet. You don't get brain freezes? I'm jealous of that. I like ice cream. Did not ask to be called out like this. Yeah, it's legal to drink younger over in the UK, right? In the US, you have to be at least 21. Work will drink before 21. Oh no, call the cops. I drank like a month before I was 21 at a friend's party. Oh, this is a story time. Yeah, so the first time I ever got drunk was at a friend's party in college. Her name was Alika, and that's important to the story. Otherwise, I would make it anonymous. She gave me a glass of box wine, this big. This big, like a full on like drinking water glass, but a little bit bigger, full of box wine. It tasted like juice to me at the time. I'd never been drunk before. I'd never had alcohol before. So I chugged the entire thing, like that, probably even spilling some, just like that. And not knowing how, let me dry off a little bit here. I was doing a demonstration, okay? I don't normally spill like that. Drank the entire thing, and then because I didn't know how alcoholic wine was, I asked for a second glass that big, drank the entire thing, and then it was a really fun night, the first time ever being drunk, until I threw up all over the couch. And then later, I found out that my friend Alika's nickname from her friends was Alcoholica, and then that story makes a whole lot more sense. It was a fun night though. I don't regret it. I don't drink wine anymore though. I do not like it. It tastes like rotten grape juice. But that is my first time getting drunk. Europeans are alcoholics. 16 with a meal and 18 without a meal. Any age if you don't get caught. 5 at home? You're allowed to drink at 5 at home? Yes, I don't think it's illegal. I don't think it's illegal to drink under 21 here. I think it's illegal to purchase alcohol under 21 here. And if your parents give you like a sip of wine or a beer or something, I think that's probably totally fine. My parents didn't. We grew up in a house without alcohol at all. Because my parents' idea of alcohol is that it makes you completely lose control of yourself. I don't think either of my parents have ever actually been drunk before. It's interesting. They've been tipsy for sure. It's probably wise not to have alcohol in the house, but yeah, I grew up in that kind of environment. Yep, parental permission. Literally can be given a glass of beer and it's fine. Interesting. So anyway, let's get back to work. We've got a few more minutes here. Try to finish separating out this layer, I guess. I'm gonna make this is pretty undefined here, so I'm just gonna make it look like leaves. Which maybe paint some back in. Which what I'm doing here, for anybody unfamiliar, I feel like this is pretty common Photoshop knowledge at this point. I'm using layer masks, so I'm not actually erasing anything. So if I paint black, it removes. If I paint white, it adds it back in, which is useful in case you screw up. So it's like you're erasing it, but the data is still there. It's a non-destructive workflow. This is one of my favorite things in Photoshop. Beer was considered a soft drink in Russia until 2012. That explains a lot. I'll just paint that out. Because again, all this is off camera for the most part. Doesn't have to be super accurate. Painting out all the light stuff. We're gonna generative fill the background anyway, so this layer just has to look good. Doesn't matter if we accidentally paint over something or miss something, because nobody will know the difference except for us. It's our little secret. I enjoy these chill art streams, just chatting and working on stuff. In a toxic human's mindset. Wait, what's in a toxic human's mindset? Beer is weak, quote from your friend, whilst we were both drunk out of our mind. I'm not even a beer person. Like I said, all beer pretty much tastes exactly the same to me. 45 bucks is just a good deal to go hang out with friends in Atlanta and get tanked. Go to all messages. I'm on live chat. Beer's considered a soft drink. Wait, why is the... Because your country is so gloomy that alcoholism is the only thing that makes you happy? Why did that not show up when I was already on live chat? That's weird. Okay, got a little more painting out on this layer to do. Then we want the leaves layer, and then we want the background layer. Try to get as far as possible. Maybe end stream at 12:30 because I do want to make good progress on this. Pizza Chew's correct. The US ain't too great either, though. Our country is tearing itself apart with the two-party system. Again, we just need to get close, because if there's like a little haze left over from the background on the side of the tree, nobody will notice because the background's gonna be the same color as the haze. Okay, cool. Get close. We add like a little bit more detail here, paint out the branch. It's looking pretty cool. UK is also tearing itself apart. I think the world is tearing itself apart. I'd rather live in Detroit for 10 years than live in London for 5 days. It's the second most depressing city ever. London is? Interesting. Because I think... Oh my god, Photoshop, why do you do this? Where you start making noise until I click off and click back on. I think we can just sort of make this a twig right here. Let me skinify it a little bit. Skinify it sound like I was trying to like skinny. Okay, I guess skinnyify, because skinify sounds like you're gonna do something illegal. That sounds like some Silence of the Lambs bullshit. I'm gonna skinify it. That's a new verb. Trademark Chris Foley. Have you ever met a Brexit geezer? I have not. What's a Brexit geezer? How much did he geese? Is geese a verb? I guess it is now. Trademark Pizza Chew. That looks pretty good. We can sort of trim out these leaves a little bit. Like so. One got fired for drinking in school. I never saw it myself, but there were rumors that my band director in high school like used to come in high. I quit band pretty early in high school though, because he was a douche. Granted, if I had to deal with kids all day, high school kids especially, all day, every day, like in an educational environment like that, I would probably also be a douche. So. I'm gonna paint back in a little bit more of the leaves here, I think. So like to like right here, I think maybe. Ah, do I need to? Yeah, it's probably smart. Just sort of like roughly paint it in. And then we can paint it out again. Just to make it, give it like a rough-ish smooth edge. I realize that doesn't make a whole lot of sense as I'm saying it, but it'll make more sense when it comes together. And then maybe even smooth this out a little bit. Chris, if I ever get the opportunity to build a big city, the easiest way to make everything depressing is to build everything out of gray concrete and don't let anyone paint it. Are the tree and the person gonna be on different layers? This is all one layer now, what we have painted out currently. And then we're gonna do one more layer of background leaves. So like notice these are like blurrier leaves. We're gonna put those on a separate layer to add a little bit more depth. And then we'll have the background. Dublin, for example. So I think this layer is pretty good now. We'll call this midground 1, and then we'll do midground 2, which is gonna be the leaves. So let me duplicate this real quick. Merge group, and we're gonna need to do some more generative fill magic here. We're gonna paint all the bottom part out, so it doesn't matter a whole lot. What we do need to cut out is the Cloakwood Hermit himself. Get a little bit accurate. Oh no, we painted those twigs out too, didn't we? I don't remember. Let me look. Okay, those twigs. Yeah, we need to be accurate with that. So we'll get accurate on the twigs. And cut out this. We just need to cut him out. Or her, I don't know. As a trans person, you don't have any authority? Dublin, for example, also give Northern Ireland back. You would? Okay, that was the context I was missing. Yeah, soon enough, England will collapse in on itself. Fair. I want to cut out this tree. And honestly, probably just cut out the person first, and then worry about the tree. So then we can do a generative fill here. And see what options it gives us. Everyone will end all war and dance in the streets. It's figuring it out, it's thinking. Damn! Good job, Photoshop. Ooh, I kind of like this one. Doesn't really matter what we choose. That one's kind of nice because of how the twig looks. I like that a lot. But now we do need to get rid of this tree, but not the twig. This looks pretty good though. This is complicated. And maybe put the tree on a separate image to the dude. So like here's the dude with the tree. We could separate the tree out into its own layer and include the twig with the newly generated piece. I think we do that. So that way we have more control in Blender later. So we're gonna separate this out into 2 layers. Mid-ground, no tree. Which geometrically they'll be on similar layers, so this blending won't matter too much. So let's go ahead and paint on the tree. Yeah, looks about right. It'll all come together as the same image when we're done. It'll just be easier with the tree to put it on its own layer. We won't have to be as accurate in Blender. They wanted their citizens to see more depressed. Why didn't even link? That's pretty good. So mid-ground, no trees. Mid-ground tree. Paint out him. I'm also doing this all with a mouse, which is not generally recommended. Don't understand why people don't like IKEA. Dude, I love IKEA. It's so much fun to just go browse around. Like how they have all of their different furniture things set up. I can kind of just blend this because it won't matter at the end. We literally just want this tree trunk. And we can start to get rid of some of this stuff. To reply to my girlfriend and figure out and confirm what time she gets off work and is headed over here, so that you can stare at my face looking down at my phone for the next couple minutes. I could put up the BRB screen, but I feel like this is probably more entertaining watching my facial expressions as I figure out what I'm replying with. I like put a lot of thought into what I'm replying on text. And then read it like 3 or 4 times and then still second guess myself. So once you graduate, you're gonna party and get very drunk. It gets old pretty fast. Parties are fun, like small parties though. Like I host like small cookouts and get-togethers with my friends. Those are pretty fun. All right, I'm gonna use the restroom, then we'll finish up these 2 layers, try to get it into Blender, and then call it a day. I'll be right back. Okay. Back to art. You're probably going into the military. I feel like I missed a lot while I was texting. Okay, let's see what I missed. To abuse human rights sounds very English. It's my main guess. Another guess is that they wanted their citizens to be more depressed. I guess I should be reading these in voices. True. We don't have #1 on depression yet. Anyway. Actually, what voice should I do for Lucy? Oh, you're British. Anyway, we should probably start talking about politics. Someone's at my front door. What the heck? Oh, no, I'm not answering that. We got some religious looking people. Hell no. I don't know if I should show this on stream or not, but it's their own fault for showing it up at my door. There is no way in hell I'm answering that. They can leave a flyer or something. I'm gonna watch to see when they go away. Okay, they left. Good. Wow, they don't have a lot of dedication. I guess they aren't really that religious, huh? I was like, did my girlfriend show up early without letting me know she was on the way? 'Cause I still gotta like take a shower and stuff. I look good. I know, like my hair looks good, not greasy or anything. But I still do want to take a shower this morning before I go to the beer fest and stuff, and get ready, get dressed nicer, put on my watch, put on like pants and clothes. So right now I'm wearing like sweatpants. Screw Catholics, Protestant gang. I'm no religion gang. Oh, anyway, I was catching up. Why did England leave the EU though? To abuse human rights? Okay, that sounds very English. It's my main guess. Another guess is that they wanted their citizens to be more depressed. True, we don't have number one on depression yet anyway. We should probably stop talking about politics. I don't understand why people like going to big cities, nor do I. I don't understand why people don't like IKEA, best place of all time. My English accent sucks. Tried to get back into Blender recently. My dad was planning on getting me to do stuff for the business, but he has rebranded, so that didn't happen. Once I graduate, I'll take a 1-week trip to either Poland and look at museums and battlefields, or Finland and fish in Lapland. The hell is Lapland? Once I graduate, I'm going to party and get very drunk. I don't really like parties. Whenever I text anyone, I have to triple check the messages to make sure I don't threaten to eat their family pet and burn down their home. And after I'm done with partying, I will get a job. I'm probably going into the military. I won't. I don't have enough pride in my country. It's me. Yeah, don't. I'm the bold one. Screw Catholics, Protestant gang. I feel slightly offended. And now we're caught up, so we can get back to working on art. That was fun. I'm sorry if I offended either of you. I wonder if, like, the door is pretty far from the front door is pretty far from where I am. I wonder if they heard me, like, shout, "No way in hell," and then they left. Your Wi-Fi is broken. I don't use Wi-Fi. And I do on my phone, I guess. But on my PC, it's all wired connections. So it's more reliable. Keep lagging every second. Is my stream laggy? Oh shit, there were some dropped frames there for a while. I wonder when that was. I lost 4,500 frames. Let me look at my stream. Currently it doesn't look like it's lagging, but it was. Oh shit, nope, dropping frames again. Okay, I blame Xfinity. Yeah, this is technical difficulties. It is dropping a lot of frames. Usually it restabilizes at some point, but I blame Xfinity 100%. Let's see. Speed test. Nope, it is definitely an internet thing. Okay. No longer dropping frames, but now camera's not working. Great. There we go. Okay. I think we're back. That was weird. I don't know if that was Xfinity or if it was Windows forcing me to update. Either way, restarting seemed to fix it. So I can finish up this art real quick. We got like, that ate up a lot of time, so we don't have that much longer on stream. If there's overlap between the tree layer and the Cloakwood Hermit layer, it doesn't matter a whole lot. Also, let me get music back. Let's see, lo-fi, play. There we go. Okay, cool. Again, if there's some overlap between these two layers, nobody will know the difference. Ideally. We'll go ahead and paint all of this out so we have just the tree. I'm redoing this little bit right here because I don't know if I accidentally erased some of the trees alpha. Cool. Now we need the part that we added. You're back. Welcome back. Which is gonna be right here. So we'll merge these and then we'll paint out just this portion. Of the tree. Shadow Wizard Money Gang. I still don't know what that means. Said that the other day too. Oh, mother fucker. I'm not painting out, I'm just painting white. We love casting spells. I like casting spells in Magic the Gathering. I've still not seen any of the animations yet. Which ones? I don't know what animations you're talking about. You probably already told me, but my memory is a fickle thing. Gotta be really meticulous with this branch. Yeah, I'm old. I forget things all the time. I don't even know my own address. I don't even know what I do for a living. I don't know my birthday. I don't know my family. Shadow Wizard Money Gang animations. I have not seen those. Show me all your private details. Okay, this we've already painted out for sure. The rest of this is easy enough because we've already painted it out. We can just kind of do this. We're just trying to add that one singular branch. I don't know why I care so much about detail. But I do. I'll make this look like a leaf. Never played MTG and not planning on playing it, but this art is amazing. Yeah, the artists in this game are super talented. They don't get paid enough either. But they do put the artist names on every card, which is nice. Yeah, so the original art we're working with is just this. And then we used Photoshop to generate the rest of it using AI. This is what is on the card. So then we kind of added to that. It's still beautiful. Used to play Pokemon, but no one plays it anymore. There are people at my local game store who play it. And a lot of people who collect it and don't play it. Yeah, so oh shit, I have this stuff visible where the head's painted out. Yeah, so original art Photoshop AI extension. Right? Like, that's so impressive. That's pretty good. And this is the part that's going to be visible in the video. The reason we add the extension is so that when we rotate the card, we have more of the scene to rotate over to. Or when the card moves or whatever, for perspective. So most of it's not going to be visible most of the time. Yeah, so the extension here is the AI, and then this is the official art. So we extended it by 50% on either side. Using the AI. Which we're gonna do for the other card as well, so I'll go ahead and show you how we do that. Because it's Photoshop's new feature. So this is the other art we're gonna do in another stream probably. So image, canvas size, if I just set this up to 200% wider. Oh, let me unlock it real quick. So add 50% on either side. And literally just select maybe a little bit like that and say generative fill. I don't know if y'all were here early enough to see the original extension that I did on the other one. Give it a second to figure things out. Helped you with streaming great content. Oh, I'm glad you find that stuff useful. So then it'll give us 3 options. So it just adds on to the side. So when we rotate the card, I think this one would be the best since it's the lowest detail. So then when we rotate the card that we're making 3D, we just have extra stuff to pan over to that didn't exist in the original art. So then we do the same thing for the other side, and then top and bottom after. Doing it one side at a time like this, I think gives it more to work with, because then it can work off of the stuff that it already generated as well. To figure out what to fill it with. If we just filled the whole frame at once, we would have some resolution issues as well. So like that works. And then we can do image, canvas size, and set the percent for the top and bottom to 200. And hit generative fill. And still not worth 70 bucks a month. I made your YouTube start recommending Photoshop videos. That's pretty funny. Wait for this to generate, and it'll give us 3 options. That one's pretty good right there. That one's also pretty good. I think the first one is the weakest. Probably go with this one or try 3 more options. It keeps the original 3 options and just keeps adding on to it for that generated layer. It's a really cool tool. Especially for doing stuff specifically like this. It makes doing 3D projection. Whoa, okay, I like that. Am I using an AI? Yes, I have a Magic the Gathering YouTube channel, and I want to do 3D projections of the cards so that it looks like you're looking into a window when the card moves rather than being a 2D image. And for that, you need to split the image out into multiple layers to have things to project onto. So with the art, I need to remove foreground elements or extend background elements, and AI is really good for that. So for instance, on this art, I was able to like just remove the Kraken using AI generation. It figures out the other areas of the art and fills that in for me. Traditionally, I would have to like clone stamp all of that in manually, so it's just a massive time saver. And I feel like it's not stepping on anybody's toes either, using it for this use case specifically, because I'm not claiming this is my art. I'm just trying to make a 3D version of someone's art that already exists. It's not mine. So I feel like extending it for a part that no one's gonna even see most of the time, I feel like extending that with AI doesn't step on anyone's toes at all. So I think that's a perfectly fine, acceptable use case for AI. Which I'm generally pro AI anyway. I think it's just gonna make jobs easier. It's not gonna take jobs, but yeah. So all of the extension in this image, this is the original art from the card. All of this extension was done AI. So now we're taking it and we're separating it out into layers to make a 3D projection. So we have like the tree trunk with the squirrel. We have the mid-ground. I'm working on separating out the tree right now, which also has this twig that we generated. So for a use case like this, I feel like AI is especially good, because traditionally you'd have to clone stamp all of it manually to do the background parts of a 3D projection. This part's easy. The only part that I have to actually put effort into, since we already painted this part out, is the twig down here. AI makes not completely worthless. I don't understand what that sentence means. Makes NFTs. Oh, okay. Yeah. NFTs were already worthless. Who wants to pay thousands of dollars for a JPEG? I understand that you're like not paying for the actual image, you're paying for the ownership of the image on a non-fungible token, but it's still dumb. You will never move to Kick. Oh, a rich person would. You know what rich people are also buying? Y'all have already seen this in the news in multiple places, but the Lord of the Rings set for Magic just came out. Like, they're doing a Lord of the Rings crossover, and they made this version of the One Ring card. There's only one in existence, can only be found in a collector booster or a collector booster from a gift bundle. And rich people like Cassius Marsh are already offering $2 million for this one cardboard rectangle. So if I happen to find it, again, very unlikely. I'd suspect Wizards of the Coast has probably seeded it in a pack to where it will be publicly opened in a few months after the product cycle starts to die down. But if I was to open it, I would 100% sell it and just pay off my house and retire. That would be sick. I agree, Dom. You do not trust that site, and as a trans person, you would die on Kick. I like YouTube, honestly. It's nice because it has the functionality of being able to rewind the stream. Everybody gets guaranteed transcoding options. They're not pulling all the dumb shit that Twitch is because everybody's guaranteed a 70-30 split. What does this card even do? So it's written in Elvish language for the fancy version, but the non-fan, like if you there is the non-fancy regular version you can get from booster packs, which it's really good actually. It's already like a $25 card in and of itself, not the fancy version. But it's when it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, you gain protection from everything until your next turn, meaning nobody can target you, nobody can damage you, nobody can do anything to you, essentially. At the beginning of your... They can still target your things, but not you. Then at the beginning of your next upkeep, which is the beginning of your turn, you lose 1 life for each burden counter on the One Ring. This is the downside to it. But you can tap it, turn it sideways, to put a burden counter on it and then draw a card for each counter on it. So the first time you tap it, you draw 1 card. The second time you tap it, you draw 2 cards. It's very, very strong. YouTube needs to hurry up and fix their streaming. No, YouTube's streaming is on point. It's the discovery system for streams on YouTube that's the problem. No one can find streams on YouTube. So the best way to get people to watch your streams is to make long form content or YouTube shorts, which I'm trying the whole YouTube short method right now. And we're gonna try that for a few months and see if that helps at all. But apparently making a YouTube short where I did an Andrew Tate impression was bad for my growth. I went from like, I lost 11 subscribers off of that. No regrets. That just means I got rid of the misogynists. Swear someone spent 16 million on an ST that's now valued at $200. That's pretty funny. I'm going to continue painting this out, and then we'll probably call it a day because I got to go get ready for the beer fest. I think I'm going to do art stream on Wednesday, though, instead of Zelda. This is more chill and more fun and is progress for my other channel. Okay. This is a little bit hard to tell what's going on because it's low resolution. So I guess I can kind of just make it up. Plus you learn more stuff. It's in the language of Mordor. It's an Elvish language. Elvish language is not the language of Mordor. Oh wait. Oh wait, no. It might be in Mordor language because it's because it is the One Ring. It would be the same language as what's inscripted on the ring. What language is the inscription on the One Ring in Lord of the Rings? Let's look this up. Black speech. said to be written in a form of Elvish that was used in Mordor, known as Black Speech. That sounds racist. Kick has no rules, so there's a lot of hate on the site. That makes sense. It's the entire thing is funded by a gambling service, so it's not gonna be horribly morally correct in the first place. Still better than Twitch at this point. In terms of rules and regulations for their creators and creator monetary split, yes, Kick is better. Twitch still has really good community features, but they keep making decisions that fuck over creators. It's like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Am I gonna get the Lord of the Rings pack? So last night was the pre-release at my local game store. So I bought a bundle of the Lord of the Rings, which had 8 booster packs in it and a cool dice. I had this. Oh, it's. I'm gonna turn the green screen off to. I'm not gonna worry about it. But it is. I guess you can see the print. It's like a translucent green dice, but then it has like cool numbers on it. And then. This is hard to display on camera, but they give you, it's a 4-piece panorama. I'll show 2 of the pieces. So with the bundle, you're guaranteed to get the 4-piece panorama where if you put the 4 cards together, it generates 1 continuous picture. I think it goes, let me see if I can figure out how this goes together on the top, and then I'll put it up. So like it goes together like this, where you have Sam and Frodo and then Gollum with the 1 ring, and it just makes 1 piece of art, and it's really cool. And that's you're guaranteed to get those 4 cards when you buy a bundle. Then you also get 8 booster packs. I pulled some cool stuff for anybody who's into Lord of the Rings. So like I got Mount Doom, which is a mythic rare land that lets you wipe the entire board pretty much. I got a full art version of the Balrog, which looks really cool. It's a language that cannot be spoken. What else is cool that I got? Those were my 2 of my favorite things. Oh shit, this one's really good. This is like a better Panharmonicon. I got Gandalf the White in a shiny foil version in the 1 ring treatment. Gandalf will not speak it. Oh, also got Tom Bombadil, which this is going to be green screened out some. Which is also shiny 1 ring treatment. Oh, this is not worth anything, but it is fun callback for Sting, which is the sword. It's really cool. All of the neat Lord of the Rings crossover cards. Like I have the Shire. This one's green, so it's gonna get green screened out, but neat. Unboxing video. Not for this one. Maybe I'll buy another bundle tomorrow at the game store and I can do an unboxing video if y'all want me to. It's not cheap though. The bundle with 8 booster packs, the panorama here, the dice, and the fancy box is a $65 box. Gambling, stealing the souls of innocent human beings that purely want to have fun. It's kind of funny too, because Magic the Gathering is technically gambling when you open booster packs. Stick in the YouTube. I missed some chat. But yeah, so it came with like this nice little storage box for your cards too, which has cool art on the sides. I'm a fan. I think it's pretty cool. I got caught on a cord with my chair. I should do a pasta making stream. Pasta's easy though. You just put it in water. I know some people make like fresh pasta, but I don't. I certainly don't have a pasta maker. Homemade. I just buy angel hair. You're into Lord of the Rings? Yeah, the Lord of the Rings set has some really cool cards in it. Does it have wings? The Lord of the Rings set? Oh, the Balrog. I don't think so. I can just look up the art online for that. The Balrog MTG. Balrog. I'll just go to TCG Player. This one. No, I don't think it had wings. It's just like surrounded by fire. Get it centered here. There's like the mines in the background. Also, you notice like the header on TCG Player right now is these lands. They're really cool. The lands in the set, the fancy ones at least, are like, they're like maps from Middle Earth, which is really neat. And you get those in every collector booster or sometimes in set boosters. You don't need a pasta maker to make pasta. When do I have to get ready? Probably around now. Haven't heard back from my girlfriend yet though. I don't know when she's headed over. She's working this morning is why she works one Saturday out of the month. And then she's headed over after work. And then her friend is also meeting here and we're all gonna Uber down. Split an Uber so it's cheap. With that, it's actually random, unlike gambling. Maybe. And Magic is gambling, it's loot boxes. The only reason they're allowed to legally get away with it is because they don't put any value on the individual cards. The secondary market does that. Oh, you were 2 minutes behind? That probably happened when the stream dropped frames earlier. You're on about Magic stuff. I'm still on about Magic stuff, so it's okay. You probably need to get ready here shortly. I don't know what's going on with this twig. It's hard to tell even from a distance. I'm just kind of guessing here. If I guess wrong, we can always fix it later. I'll probably just erase this part, honestly. Don't need it. Christopher. Don't understand why most gambling is banned. I think because it's addictive and ruins people's lives. You could say, yeah, it's kind of that person's fault for getting addicted to it, but also it is an addictive thing. Like people ruin their lives if they want. I don't know. I don't make the rules. It's really unfortunate for the people's family, for the families of the people though. Like someone goes and gambles their house away or something because they're out of money in Vegas and down that bad. And then their family ends up without a house. I can understand both perspectives. Gambling increased anger rates. Okay. We can go ahead and erase all of this. And we have our tree separated, kind of. So this, we'll put in a folder and say mid-ground tree. This, I don't think we need anymore. So we have our mid-ground without the tree. We have our foreground tree. We have our tree. Now we need like background leaves. And then background. Let's go ahead and do the background leaves. Yeah, but why allow Vegas? I think it's like on a per state basis, right? They decide what they want to do. Vegas is fun. I have never gambled there. I was way too young to gamble when I went with my family, but we saw lots of like magicians and stuff, and that was pretty cool. Okay. Nice. You love it. Keep going. I'm actually about to head out. I've got a... This is not my art. This is art from a Magic the Gathering card. I'm just separating it out into pieces so I can make it a 3D projection. Chill Pop. This is the original art from the Magic card. We've extended it using AI, and now we're separating it out into pieces so I can make it 3D. If Vegas sank into the ground, you would not care. Interesting. I think I know people that live there though. So now we just want like the background like leaves, I think, as a layer, and then the background. So let's go ahead and paint out the background. I'm painting white instead of layer mask again because I'm not smart. This doesn't need to be as accurate as the other stuff we've done. This will sound weird. Say it. What will sound weird? For this one, we probably will just clone stamp. I think that'll be easiest rather than trying to generate a fill. Never thought people actually lived in Vegas. These nuts, got them. Do you got those nuts? Yeah, I probably need to get off here shortly. I haven't heard from her yet. Oh, it was a massive tourist trap. It is! People also just live there in the rural areas. And the people who work there have to live somewhere, right? Unless the whole thing is run by robots. Maybe in the future, all of Vegas will be run by robots. The workers are probably just homeless. Okay. That checks out. That's like saying Mickey Mouse doesn't actually live at Disneyland. Come on, people. We all know that the Disney characters actually live at Disneyland. How dare you insinuate otherwise? Who's locked in the statue in the front? Mickey Mouse was? I've seen the South Park episode where he beats up the Jonas Brothers. I know what reality is. Wait, you're telling me teachers don't live at school? The fuck you saying? So now we can clone stamp a little bit. This is where the manual labor comes in some. Get rid of the easy stuff like this twig. This is how you used to have to do background replacements. Probably do an AI generation to get rid of the head. Maybe even the tree here as well. Yeah, it'll be fine. I'm really leaning into this AI for this background replacement. The twig will probably be fine. I'll just cut all this out and then do a generative fill. Top 50. That'll work. That will definitely work. So then we can paint out the fucked up area. Cool, so that can be like our leaves layer for the background leaves. If there's some overlap between these foreground leaves and the background leaves, I don't think it'll matter too much for the final result. So we'll say midground underscore BG leaves, and then now let's just generate everything for the background, which is gonna be most of it. Gonna head out now. Alright, I'm about to end this stream as well. Hope you have a good rest of your day, Pizza Chew. So here, we just want to generate pretty much everything. Go ahead and select that. Select this. Deselect this. Then select the inverse and do a generative fill based on that backdrop. Just to get nice color splotches as the final background. Let's see what else we got. Oh, perfect. So remember, we have this in front of it. 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 So that'll work. I'm gonna say background. So now we save each of these individual layers as their own image. And I'll show you how cool this will work before we even do any 3D projection. So image size is 1252 by 914. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera to that. Delete the cube. What did I say it was? Image size, 1252 914. So then we go to Photoshop and save each of these individually. So image or file, save as. This will be. We're gonna do Control Alt S so we can save it as a PNG. This will be Cloakwood Hermit underscore background. Then we have Cloakwood Hermit underscore midground leaves. Save this one as a PNG as Cloakwood Hermit underscore midground tree. Save this one as a layer. It's PNG Cloakwood Hermit underscore midground. Save this one as a layer. Cloakwood Hermit underscore foreground. That should be all the layers. So then we can do a file. Let's switch over to cycles real quick. File, import images as planes. Go to our editing drive. Oraclefish YouTube. MTG videos. Decklist videos. Silver's Nightmare Speaker. 3D projection. We're gonna import all of these. We'll do these as emission materials, or shadeless is fine as well. Use the alpha. Import Alt G. We're gonna just match the width of the camera. Render. So now we can take each of these individually and scale from the camera. So take our background and scale this out pretty far. Then we do midground underscore leaves is the next furthest. We have midground tree will be a little bit in front of that. Midground will be about the same level as the midground tree. A little bit in front of it. And we have our foreground, which we'll put like right here. So now if we move the camera, you'll notice that within the camera, let me turn off the passive part out. Notice if we zoom in, now it's like it's 3D. So if we zoom in some, or even just crop in some to the original art, so we have some movement depth here. Oh, I realized the chat is in front. So we're matching about the original art now. Let me change the render mode to standard rather than filmic. So now if we move around, you'll notice there's like some depth between the background and the character and the leaves here. It looks pretty cool. Let me zoom in. You get some 3D depth. And then we're gonna make this look even better by 3D projecting it onto 3D geometry so it doesn't just look like a bunch of 2D image planes as well. But this is pretty successful. This is a pretty good separation. You can like pan around. We get this nice 3D look. That's pretty cool. So then picture this in a card frame, and now it feels like you're looking into a window rather than... Oh, we have like a decent amount of panning room here too. That's nice. Like about that far. That's nice. That'll work. That's a successful day right there. So we have some more steps to do here. For one, I need to position these the same way they'll be positioned on the card. And then 3D project. Process and the outcome, amazing. Thank you. Yeah, so we're not done here yet. So this is all just 2D image planes right now. We're going to make some basic 3D geometry to give each of the layers some depth within themselves. But for like a 2D separation, this is already looking pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with this so far. Oh, that looks nice. Yeah, so it'll look even cooler when we're done once we add some like basic geometry for the character, the hill. So each of the layers will have 3D depth as well, rather than just looking like 2D image planes. But I gotta go get ready for the Atlanta Summer Beer Fest, so I'll catch y'all later. Thanks for hanging out on stream today. Wargamer, Pizza Chew, Lucy, Chill Pop, Justin who stopped by earlier, Benzlot who stopped by earlier, everybody who hung out today. This was fun. I think I'm gonna do another art stream when I stream on Wednesday as well. And if we wanna do something really quick, we can like animate the camera. So let's say we start with the squirrel off screen, since we have that much movement room, since we added the extension. We can insert a location frame. So you want to take like 100 frames and move over, and then we can like center the squirrel. And then if we play that back, we get like this nice, it's kind of like a 3D panning shot. And we can even start like zoomed in on the dude, and then make this take a little bit longer, maybe like 200 frames. We have like a nice 3D looking panning shot. Maybe not quite so far left. Maybe more in line with what the original art is. That looks pretty cool to me. Especially like with like the nice parallax between the layers. That turned out pretty cool. I am satisfied with this. Notice how there's like even parallax on the individual branch in front of the leaves and everything. That turned out really nice. Okay. Cool. Okay, now I'm actually gonna end the stream. Y'all have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna go get tanked. Okay, now I have to actually click the button. I will have a beer for you. I'll have lots of beers for you. I'll even say that it's in Wargamer 1970's name. All right, later.